Joshua, it's time for the walkthrough. It's time to preview. We're going to go 5 conference championship games deep because want to include the American because this is the race and these are teams we've been talking about all season long. We got to start with the Big Ten championship game. 1 versus 2. The Buckeyes are favored by 4 points in this game. Indiana's first trip to the Big Ten championship game since it started. This is such a fun one because if you're an Indiana fan and this game is in Indianapolis, you've had it circled. You've tried to get tickets for weeks now. These two teams have seemed like they're on a collision course, and it's super exciting. I mean, like you have a team that you fully believe in. They had an undefeated, perfect regular season, 12-0. They're very complete. They've got a Heisman Trophy contender, bunch of All-Americans. I'm working on my All-American ballot these days, which
from either team.
You've been getting a bunch of text. Yeah, it's like half of the starting lineups for both of these teams. And it's such an enticing game. I mean, you never get 1 versus 2 games like this. I know it's not like everything at stake because both these teams are going to be in the college football playoff, but you feel like if you're an Indiana fan, you've won at Autzen, you've won at Beaver Stadium, you won at Kinnick, you've beaten teams that have more talent than yours. Obviously, Ohio State is like all NFL talent, but you feel like your program has taken a step this year and is ready for this challenge. And you're hoping it's going to be a heck of a game. And I'm super excited because, again, they have both been on this collision path. And I'm really glad that this is the Big Ten championship matchup.
Same here. And on the other side of that, Ohio State hasn't been to this game since the COVID year. And I've talked to a bunch of my former teammates, like my parents were going to go if they didn't have to watch the kids this weekend. Like, I think that everybody involved in this is actually excited to make the trip to Indianapolis. And a lot of the conversation around conference championships is like, oh, they don't matter as much. And like, there's whatever. Like, I think both sides of this are pretty excited to be in there. These are 2 of the most complete football teams nationally. You're talking offenses that can get it done in a lot of ways. We've seen Indiana where maybe the pass game isn't clicking. They run it for 300 yards. We've seen them when their pass game is clicking and they can throw it around the yard. And Ohio State, over probably like the last, I would say 4 or 5 weeks, has figured out the run game. The pass game has been good all year long. And then 2 defenses that are toward the top in America in every statistical category. They love to stop the run. They make it difficult to throw the football down the field. They want to hit you in the backfield, right? They don't give up a lot of points. I'm very intrigued by this. Indiana coming in, probably the more tested team, but Ohio State, supremely talented. It feels to me like Ohio State is a little bit of a Death Star right now. So if we're making picks, I'm picking Ohio State, but they're going to see resistance in this game. And I'll go back to last week against Michigan. They give up a big run early. Julian Sand throws a pick early. I feel like that's the same type of game for Ohio State where like they're going to have to weather some storms in this one. This is an Indiana team that 100% will beat them if they think they're just going to roll the helmets out there. And I'm super excited to watch it. I also think that these are 2 of the top 3, 4, 5 coaches in America right now that are coaching here. So I'm excited for that matchup as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. I'll take Indiana just to make this a little bit interesting because I don't think a lot of people are, but Vegas has some faith in them. Only a 4-point underdog in this game. That's not what it would have been a year ago, not what it was a year ago.
Yeah. Both of these
and
teams
that was
love
a game
covering the spread too, so this will be interesting from that standpoint.
That game and the Notre Dame game, I think, really helped Indiana get to where they are this year. Going to be interesting to see how much they've closed that gap, if they have, and if the loser of this game drops below number 2 in the rankings. I don't think they should. I think if you lose to the best team in the country or the other best team in the country,
right,
you probably should keep a first-round bye. There's also a scenario here where Oregon slides up and 3 Big Ten teams get first-round byes, which would break a lot of brains.
That's what I talked about with the BYU situation here. Like that feels crazy. We didn't think that the Big Ten of all conferences would be the one that could potentially have 3 byes in this situation.